This conference will now be recorded.
Fine. Now today we will see a couple of things here, right? The first thing is that today we are going to see would be, oh, should I close it? Okay. Did you got the time to walk through this messaging channel or LMS concept? What we did, right? Did you guys got the time to go through this? I asked you yesterday to please go through this first. No one? Okay, fine then. So let me explain. First thing that you have to create is a message channel. It is an XML file. It is a universal exchange format. Universal data exchange format is XML. In the XML, we go ahead and define lightning messaging fields. You cannot change this name of this. Then we have two attributes, field name, description. Field name is the field that you want to use, like name, phone, fax, email. You can give n number of fields like this. Once you declare the fields in this messaging channel, you go ahead and you write the Visualforce page. You go ahead and capture the data. You put two buttons. Actually, one button is enough called publish, but we have used more than one button called publish, subscribe, and unsubscribe. Right. Whenever you click publish button, immediately system is creating a message, and then it is calling an inbuilt function called as spost.1.publish, and it's publishing the message. Next, whenever you want to stop receiving, we are declaring a variable called subscription. That variable, I'm setting it with all the message. If it's null, then I'm filling it with the message. If you don't want to receive message, unsubscribe, then what I'm doing, I'm setting it back to the null. That attribute, I'm setting it back to null. I'm using sforce.1.unsubscribe. Similarly, I'm using sforce.1.subscribe. Right? sforce.1.subscribe will accept the channel name and a function. This is a function, display message, and that function is here again. Another function that comes in. In that function, first, where do you want to display the data? I want to display in a label. So that's the reason I'm using document.query locator, query selector, sorry, not locator, query selector. I find that particular control. To that control, right, because there is no value, so it's an inner HTML, it's a label. Values are used for a text box where you can enter something. Here I cannot enter something. Here it's just shown. In such case, I use like label.innerHTML, and then I stringify, because all the data that I'm receiving in a JSON format. So I need to stringify the JSON to read the message. This is the stringification we used in the last class also, same thing in PubShop also. Right? Same concept we have now applied in the Lightning component also. We have input where you can type the message. We have three buttons, one to post, another to subscribe and unsubscribe. And finally, in Lightning, I have something called as formatted text where I can display a text. Output is available. That is the reason I'm using Lightning formatted text. And here I'm displaying the message. As usual, same thing. We have imported the message channel that we created. There, sforce.1.subscribe, sforce.1.publish, sforce.1.unsubscribe. Here, publish, subscribe, unsubscribe is an importation method which is available. So you have to import it. We imported it. Including create message context. These are these variables are predefined variables or predefined. These are not variables actually. These are function. function, and these functions controls the behavior of the text message. Create will create a message, release will leave the message. So, right, I go ahead with this create message context, I create a variable called context, right? I have to use a constructor because here you are getting a data from somewhere else and you need to activate those message channel. And for that, I need a constructor. Whenever you're using a constructor, you have to use a super. That's compulsory. So we use the super. Then, right, first we captured whatever the data that we entered in the Lightning Web component. Whenever somebody clicks on publish, the same principle. Form the message, publish it. Here, the only difference is that message channel and message. Along with that, there's one more variable called context. Create context you have to use. Message context has to be used. Publish what? Message context. Then same way subscribe. Subscribe. You go ahead and use the subscribe. There also this dot context along with message channel and the message. Right? You subscribe. Same way, you have to display the message also. Right? When you subscribe it, you have to display the message. Display message is again a separate function. And you are trying to display them in a variable called receive message. And again, the JSON stringification remains same. If you don't understand this command, just by heart this command and keep it. That's it. Whenever you want to unsubscribe something, go ahead and unsubscribe this dot subscription to the variable and set the variable back to 0, null. Same thing we did there. Finally, we are using disconnected callback. That means, right, the message channel, we are terminating it as soon as you close the Lightning component. Otherwise, what will happen in the backend, right? The message channel will be open. It will die after some time. I mean, there's a timeout there. But rather than, doing this, even if you don't write disconnected callback, this is going to work, right? But still, we will go ahead and at the time of killing, at the time of destroy, at the time of component to be removal from the DOM, we use a hook called as disconnected callback. And this is the way, right? We go ahead and whatever the context is there, release message context. I call a predefined method. Which context? The one which is creating the message. Release it. Going forward, this is not create the message for the channel. This is how yesterday, if you see, right, finally we were able to deliver a chat between two different technology where one person is typing and the other is receiving, other is typing, the first person is receiving between the two, and both are on a different platform. We can use in the same platform also, same thing. I can create one more Lightning component like this, LWC component, then it will be LWC to LWC. You can create, right? So this is called LMS. LMS, Lightning Messaging Service. LMS, Lightning Messaging Service, LMS concept, where between the two different framework, if you want to communicate, we need a neutral file that can accommodate both technology, and that is an XML format. And that is the reason we are creating a message channel through which the communication will happen. Both will give the data to the same file, XML file. XML file is working as an intermediate, right? Next now, right? We will go to the next concept called as jest. Jest. Put a heading called as jest. J-E-S-T. Jest. Jest should be a folder. Let me see. And by the way, you will get this jest, right? PPT, LMS PPTs, all these PPT also will be there in your drive, right? So these PPTs are created for you only. I created step by step, right? Now, the last concept of Lightning is testing, right? The last core concept. Now, jest has not been adopted by any company yet. It is in a beta version. No company has implemented jest yet, right? It is just in the Salesforce beta version, beta release. What is a jest? It's for testing. In Salesforce, we don't have any application or concept for UI testing. For example, Visualforce. Did we write any testing? No. You have a testing for Apex class and trigger, unit test, @est. In Salesforce, you can test a class, you can test a trigger, you can have code coverage to 100%. But for Visualforce page, excuse me, for Visualforce page, there is no testing. In simple word, in Salesforce for UI, there is no testing. You created Lightning components. Did we talk about anything about testing anywhere? No, because there is no concept of Lightning component testing. There is no concept at all because that's a UI. In Salesforce, UI doesn't have any testing. No testing available for UI, user interfaces. Testing is available only for classes and triggers. Unit test, @est. Now, LWC is also UI, right? Finally, Salesforce took up a third party or a third vendor or a vendor technology to test Salesforce LWC app because it's a universal, it's a neutral app. It's a neutral, components. It's a neutral app that you're creating. LWC is a neutral, right? It's a ECMS 6, ECMS 7. It's a neutral component. And hence, for a neutral component, they have taken a jest. Jest. What is a jest? As I told you, right? Go to node.js, download, right, the Node software and install it. After you install, execute npm install in the command line. I've been asking this 2 weeks back. I believe I gave this. And today I need one system to work. Otherwise, you will not get the execution. You will not get the final result, right? First, let me walk you through the PPT, how this whole process works. And finally, I will do it live, right? As I told you earlier, execution might not happen, but at least because execution will not happen, I'll not write the program. No, it's not like that. I will write the program, right? However, I might not be able to execute. My npm commands will give error, right? Same program I'll copy paste in the chat window. I will ask someone to go ahead and run in their system if they have installed this process. So first, go ahead and download node.js. Node.js. Install it. Execute npm install command in the command prompt. Click on start, click on right cmd, type cmd, automatically DOS command will come, click on it. In the command line, type this, npm install. Once you install it, let initialize it. npm init, initialize the npm. Once the npm is initialized, now just execute the last command, which I told you, npm install Salesforce LWC jest, right? Save dev. Run this command. This command, we don't need the fourth command. We can directly jump to the fifth one, right? And you can go ahead and you can attach that npm to the Salesforce. Sushma, any question? Any questions, Sushma? Okay. Do this step. Once the steps are done, you are ready to run jest. You're ready to run jest. Then, before we do jest, there are a little bit of more configuration we need to watch. Next slide, I'm going. Open, right? Open package.json and check whether you have a jest entry or not. Open package.json. Where it is, Rupam? Practically, I will show you now. Here we go. Scroll down, you'd be able to see package, right? Here is package.json, you see? Click on it. You should be able to see jest entries, LWC jest, see all the jest entries. all the jest entries you'll be able to see. Jest. These entries has to be visible. Perfect. That means jest has now been put on to my LWC, right? Or to my Visual Studio Code. The jest is available, right? Next, right? Immediately create a folder called __test __. Create a folder. You can create it anywhere. That's not a big deal, right? Create a folder, right? Now I go ahead. What I do under the LWC, I'm creating a folder. I'm doing it simultaneously with the PPT, right? Here we go. We have an LWC folder, right? Where you can see LMS, right? All these are the components that we are creating. There, I'm creating one folder, new folder. What is the name? __test test __. Like this, you have to create a folder. Like this, you have to get, oh, S is there. Sorry. Let me go ahead. S is there. You have to create test S. Right click, rename. Right click, rename S. Test. Rupam, is it must? Yes. Can I give another name? No. System doesn't recognize. It will recognize only all the test cases from this folder only. Once you create this test folder, go to the ignore. This is not for deployment. These are only for testing. So you have to ignore this folder in the deployments. You shouldn't be able to push this program to Salesforce. Control-Shift-P, deploy to the source org. If you do this, it shouldn't. So it should be ignored. And system automatically understood it's to be ignored. Now if I go down, there is, right, what is the file, right? Here it is, right? Force ignore. Let me check it out. Force ignore. Yes. Force ignore. In that ignore, my folder comes in. See, LWC just comes here. By this system understand, whenever you put test S, system will immediately understand that this is a jest folder. I didn't do this entry. It came automatically. This is the place where all the test cases will be written in this folder, and this folder will be ignored for deployment. You cannot deploy this. You cannot go ahead because these are all tests. These are not, right, core files. These are not core components. These are test components. And in Lightning, tests are not supported. In Salesforce, UI testing is not supported. That is the reason we are using a third-party technology called Jest. Jest is not a Salesforce technology. It's from the node.js. It's from them. Why? Node.js is, or this, whatever the Jest I'm using, it is used for Java application, JavaScript application testing. Node.js is for JavaScript application testing. Any component, not only in Salesforce, outside the Salesforce, you built in, right, JavaScript, you can go ahead and use Jest. And that is the reason Salesforce is also using Jest. Right? You can see this. Right? Next, one more. Right? In the package.json, right? In the package.json, right? Package.json, right? You need to have one more entry. Did I give that step here? Ensure that in the ignore it's there. Right? After this, directly I went here. Okay, one more step is there, guys, which is not there in this slide. Right? Here till it's there, ignore. But in the package.json, right? In the package.json, you have to make one more entry, right? In the package.json, right? Where is this? Toward the last I'm making. Let me check it out. 1 minute. It's starting from here, ending here. Okay, comma, right? Starting here, ending here with a comma here. This step is not there. You need to have one more entry like this. One more entry has to be there. One more entry you have to create. All right. and the entry should say jest. It's there or not, I don't know. Let me check it out. Jest, jest. You have to make one more entry. Jest, colon. Oh, colon. And in a JSON format, you have to give like this. In a JSON format. Let me see whether I'm making a correct entry or not. Here it is starting. Where it's ending? It's ending there. Okay. Just let us first make an entry. You have to make preset. P, right? RESET. Preset. Preset key value. Value will be at the rate LWC, right? Slash just preset. PRESET. You have to give this value. At the rate preset. Preset. Right? Let me see why it's giving an error. Right? Comma. Comma. Why it's giving an error? Control X. Let me paste it. Right? All just below. Let me paste it here. Let me see why it's giving error. Double comma, I'm removing it. And after this, I'm giving a comma. Right? In the package. Let me see. This is the way the entries are given. Name entry is given. Development is given like this. Right? Just entry. Okay. Let me remove this and let me give like this then. Let me see whether it gives an error or not. Okay, there we go. Give an entry like this. One entry has to be done like this, just preset. This entry might not be there anywhere, so introduce this entry manually. Control C. This step might not be there in the slide, right? So this is the entry that you have to make. Where? In package.json folder, in that file, you have to make an entry. Once you make an entry, now it is a time for us to create a Lightning component and test it. Done. My environments are done. My environment are done. All my environment setups are done. Say Control S on the keyboard, save it. Now I close everything. Whatever is there, I close it. Don't save. Right? Close. Close. My jest is ready. Now, what is this jest? Jest is used for testing. Right? Jest is used for testing. So start writing a little bit theory first, and then we will go ahead and we'll do practical. Right? Start writing. Put a heading called as jest. Write down. Right? Third-party node application. Third-party node application. Third-party node application to test. Third-party node application to test Lightning Web Component. Third-party node application to test Salesforce Lightning Web Component. Right? So it is a third-party node application to do what? To test Salesforce LWC. Full stop. Next line. Write down properties of jest in Salesforce. Number one, properties of jest in Salesforce. Put a heading. Start writing. Number one, third-party application to test LWC component. That's what the definition I gave you. Again, I'm giving you the property also, same thing. Third-party application to test, right? To test LWC component. First one. Second one, right? Jest can be used only with Microsoft Visual Studio Code. Jest can be used only for Microsoft Visual Studio Code. Next, jest components Just test component cannot be deployed. Just test component cannot be deployed, whereas the core component can be deployed. Just test component cannot be deployed, whereas core component can be deployed. You can declare the core component, you can deploy, but just component you cannot deploy, right? Cannot be deployed. Just right. Next, just is available. Write down. Just is available as beta version in Salesforce. Just is available as beta version in Salesforce Lightning Web Component. Just is available as beta version in Salesforce Lightning Web Component. Perfect. So no company is using it as of now, right? It is in a beta version, right? I will give you the same example what is there in the Salesforce documentation. But if you follow the Salesforce documentation, right, never ever it will execute. So that is the reason, follow the right steps that I gave you in the PPT. In between, one step was missing, which I just did right in front of you, called as in the JSON.package, make one entry called jest. If somebody can do this parallelly, any one of you can do this parallelly, whatever I'm doing. That is the reason I'm copying and pasting those there. Create a folder, right? You should have already installed jest. You should have already run those commands, right? Just create a folder in LWC. Inside the LWC, __ test, S is there, __. Right. Perfect. Now it is a time for me to create a Lightning Web Component and then test it. Right. It is a time for me to go ahead and create a Lightning Web Component and test it. We will create a simple, straightforward component. Control-P, create a Lightning Web Component. By the way, I have not authorized my org, but we'll see later. Right. We will. Now, I will try to take the same example what is there in your documentation called hello. The component name is hello. HELOO. I'll show you the documentation. There it will be there. So hello, my component name, right? You can actually create any component. That's okay, right? So I press enter. A component called hello got created. Hello.js. I go to the HTML, right? I go ahead and inside this, what I will do is that I will create a lightning cart. LIGHTNING lightning cart. Title equals to TITLE. Title equals to, what is the title? Title equals to, I will say, right, hello. Any icon name? Yeah, if you want, you can use ICON icon name. Icon name equals to, right, in the custom 1, custom 2, custom 3, custom 4, custom 5, oh, up to custom 56 is there. I can pick up anything. Custom : CUSTUM custom 10. Those who are thinking, what is this custom? Go to Lightning Designing System, click on icon. You have a utility icon, you have a standard icon, there's a custom icon. In that custom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, oh, full numbers are there. You can pick up any number randomly. I don't even know what is this custom 10 is. I just gave it custom 10. Now inside this, I'm creating a div, one HTML element. Why? Question raises. Rupam, why? Remember that, right? Okay, that is yesterday's error. Sorry. Remember that only the generic components can be tested. Just cannot test lightning card because lightning card, what is a lightning card behavior? Just doesn't know. Whenever you're using a lightning card, title hello, custom icon, So automatic one card has to come. The card title has to be hello. On that, an icon has to be displayed. Whether it's a correct icon or not, just cannot determine, because these are custom. These are custom framework. These are custom design. These are custom. Just cannot test this. Just cannot read it. Just can test only the neutral piece, only the neutral part, whichever is right, universal accepted, like HTML, JavaScript. It can only test those. It cannot test lightning card, because lightning card belongs to a lightning. It's a proprietary. It's an Salesforce defined command. You cannot use a lightning card in ASP.NET. It'll be unrecognized. ASP.NET or a Python or a Ruby on Rails will not support lightning card, because it doesn't recognize what is a lightning card is. So these are vendor specific, custom vendor specific. In ECMA 7 model, I told you, vendor specific components are also supported. Elements are also, definitions are also supported. So this is a vendor specific. I can't test it. This is just for a sake I have put there. That's the reason I will use div. Div is an HTML command. If same thing as a card, div does. Div, the work of div is same thing, right? Div. I have a div. Inside the div, right? Inside the div, I will go ahead and say hello. HELO. So many hello I'm giving. Comma. I will give a variable. Hello. Name. Name. After that, I'm giving an exclamation. This exclamation has no importance. It is just like a text. Hello, name. Control S on the keyboard, right? Now, name is a variable. I go ahead and declare here. In this, I declare name. It's a variable. I say name equals to Rupam. Name equals to Rupam. Name equals to Rupam. Control S. Now, whenever I deploy this component, what should I get? Hello, Rupam, with an exclamation. This is what I'm expecting. Control Shift P, deploy this to source org. If my token, my VS Code is still valid, because I didn't turn my system off since yesterday, so it got deployed successfully. Now let us see this component output. Everyone knows the component output. It's a simple component I created with a hello with a variable. It's a first class component. Component which we created in the first class, something like that. So let me go to the login.salesforce.com, right? Let me go ahead and use Rupam @lt123.com, password CRM1234 hash. Oh, CRM12345 hash. Let me log in. I click on setup. I click on developer console. I remove all these. C:, hello, Control S. Click on preview. I should say hello Rupam exclamation. Wow. I need to test this component. This is what I was expecting. A message, hello, and the variable I pass Rupam, whether that variable is displaying or not. Looks like yes, it's displaying. Now let's go ahead and write a test for this. We are going to test this component, a simple component testing I'll show you, right? Everybody is able to understand? Yes or no? Anybody has any problem?
Rupam, You're using just means definitely we have to give generic labels like div,
Correct.
something like that,
Correct.
whatever their tags are.
Yes.
But
Now
mostly
I'll not
we'll
say
use lightning flavor, right? Instead of writing
not
all.
supported, no. In Aura, do you have a testing? Today, why are you raising this question? Why didn't you ask this question at the time of lightning classes when we were doing Aura, Rupam, or in the Visual Force classes? Why didn't you ask that? Okay, we have a unit test to test a class or a trigger. Where is the testing procedure to test a UI? Visual Force. Now today when I told you there's a testing, you realized, oh, Apex page block, Apex page block section, Apex input field, Apex command button, the Apex form. That time you didn't ask me, Rupam, how you are testing logic, class and method, but you're not testing Visual Force page. Is there no testing for the UI testing? No, nobody has asked this question. Salesforce doesn't have a technology to do that. We don't have anything. You can use Selenium, you can use Mercury, you can use load runner, WinRunner, third-party testing tool you can use. Salesforce doesn't have any native tool to test this. UI testing is not there in Salesforce, just to simply call this out straightforward. First time Salesforce is using, right, jest. They're trying to use, I'll not say they're using jest today. Nobody's using it. They're trying to use jest, but jest has a limitation. Jest doesn't require custom vendors component because jest can be used by anyone. So jest doesn't jest is not from Salesforce, it's a universal. So it will recognize only HTML and right JavaScript. Jest is used to test HTML and JavaScript based application only. But whereas LWC is a mix of custom Lightning, right, framework plus HTML plus JavaScript. So I cannot test the custom vendors or custom Salesforce framework or component. We cannot. Full stop. Now there is no question. There is no digging on it. I have 1,000, lightning card, lightning button. How to test this? As I told you, you cannot. Answer is done. Stop there. Got it? Only HTML based components, only JavaScript based components can only be tested using Jest. That is the reason Jest is not yet been used by big companies. Even though Salesforce is trying to push Jest, nobody is using it. The same problem that you called it out. Lightning card, whether the card is coming up proper or not, how do I test it? No way. Only manual. Go and check it out, see the output. Yep. Perfect. Now I come to the test folder. All the test script has to be inside the test folder. Right click on it. Click on new file. I create a file inside the test folder. Give any name. hello tst test. My file name is hello test. However, you need to make sure that the extension should be test.js. Test.js. This should be your extension. File name can be anything, but you should have test.js. Press enter. One blank file is created. Hello test.js. That should be the extension. Now, first thing, import. Now, what is the work of a test file? What are you trying to do? Test how the testing will be done. Whenever you run the script, immediately this hello component has to be created virtually in the Gali. This component has to be created in the air, and then system should check whether hello Rupam is coming up or not. So that means I have to this file, right? Whatever I'm writing, hello test file should have the ability, should have the capability to create a new file. So that is the reason I'm saying import, create element. Where is that create element? C-R-E-A-T, create element. Okay, it's not there, but don't worry. E-L-E-M-E-N-T. Create element. Create element from LWC. If it's not there, don't worry. That's the reason I told you these are not supported, but anyhow, create element from LWC. So that means system should be able to create Lightning Web Component element by itself. Whenever you run this file will create an element which is not visible to you because it's a UI testing. Till the time the UI doesn't come up, how will you test it? That means the UI has to come, right? Somewhere in the virtual memory, maybe it's not visible to you. Now you see that the UI is there. This UI has to be created. Then only you can test the UI controls. Without generating a UI, how can you test a UI control? You cannot. UI stands for user interface. User interface. This form. So that is the reason I'm saying import create element. That means this test file should have an capability to create a Lightning Web Component, right? Once it creates, which element you want? Import. Import. Import what? Hello. Hello. From where? From, right? From, right? C, from C colon. What is the name of the component? HELO. Hello. This is what you want to test. Finally, I want to test this. Why? Sorry. Finally, I want to test hello. Hello, the screen, whether the message is displaying correct or not. That is the reason I'm importing. So first, create element. Second, import the element that you want to test. I want to test this component. See hello. Right? Now, testing has two functions, describe and it. Describe and it. It, it performs testing. Describe performs cleaning. There are two things. Describe and it. Describe and it. Describe and it. Describe is for cleaning the memory, physical memory, right? Once the component is created, then next test you run, the memory has to be flushed out. So you have to, describe is to, right, clean the memory. It is to go ahead and test, perform the test. In the it, automatically a button will come. Automatically a button will come, right? So I'm just thinking whether I should write or I should copy paste. You tell me, what should I do? Choice is yours. Choice is yours. Copy paste will give you a neat and clean program, and writing, we might need to go look 3 times, 4 times. So what do you want? Choice is yours. You tell me to write, I will write. You tell me to go ahead and no Rupam, right? Go ahead, copy paste and then explain line by line, then I can do that. Choice is yours. Because if I write, then I might need to go back to and fro a couple of times. I don't mind doing it, right? So choice is yours. One set copy paste, other, right? The same file I will give you. So don't worry, right? This PPT, you will get it. Along with the PPT, the file which I'll copy paste, also you'll get it. So let me look for that file. Where is that? 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 LWC jest. Right? Here also the steps are there. Neat and clean steps. Download whatever there in the PPT. Execute npm init, npm install, right? Actually, this command, what I'm doing, Control X after installation. Okay. 2, 3. After install, initialize it. Then this command is not required. 4th, I'm removing it. Okay. This command is not required. 5th, right? Now, as I told you, step 6, just preset. Actually not required, but anyhow, preset. Should be in the just. Okay. Preset command. Now I'm just, let me copy paste this. Describe and it. Right? Describe and it. Control C. Let me go ahead, come here, and I paste it. It is run. Can you see that the run test automatically comes? Debug test, run test. Two buttons will come with the it. Whenever you use the it command, describe command is used to clear the memory. What do you want to test? I want to test see hello. Which component? First, clear the memory. Suppose a component you ran a test, again you click on run test. Already previous component is loaded in the memory. So what I'm doing is that describe is the function here. Describe, it's starting here and it's ending here. That's it. It's starting here, right? It's taking full function here. Okay, fine, no issues. Full function here. Describe. In the describe only it will be there. It is a subpart of describe. The work of describe is to make sure that all the memories are clear, right? And so that it can reload or it can create a new element. You can see that here it says after each for this component see hello, I'm writing a function, a nameless function. Here is the function written, a nameless function. In this nameless function, after each, it's a loop. After each, again we are writing a nameless function. Here we go, the nameless function. After each, the nameless function, right? After each, what you're doing, while document.body.firstChild, document is nothing but the element. The body.firstChild, first child is nothing but first component. If there are, for the same instance, if there are one component, then go ahead and remove those component. Suppose there are two previews you're copying like this. Let me go ahead and show you. Control C, I open one more, I paste, right? How many? For the same element, there are now two previews. I will go ahead and I will open one more. For the same element, there are three previews now. Okate element, but three preview. Each element, each preview is called first child. First, go ahead and remove the first child. So what the system will do? Immediately system will go ahead and close this. Two more are there. That is the reason there is a loop. While now the second will become the first child. Delete, one is there. Delete, no more child is there. No more open instance. That is what this program is doing. While document.body.firstChild, if a first child is loaded, document.body.remove, remove what? Remove child. Which child? Document.body first child. First child is nothing but the first instance in the virtual memory. It will be removed. This will run till the time all the open, right? All the open, right? Visual open is killed, because system is going to create a new one for it and then test it. Otherwise system will get confused which one to test. So first we are closing if there are any existing, and that is how it has to be written, right? Then once you close it, your memory is clear. There is no more, this particular LWC component is no more open because you already cleared it in describe. Now it is a time for you to go ahead and write a test. Test what? Test what? Test. Give a description, any description. I want to say, write display greeting, display rupam, something. Test what? Right? Test, right? I want to go ahead and I want to test, right? Right. I want to go ahead and I want to test display greeting. Something, anything you can give, that's a name there. Now, because you cleared the memory, it is a time for you to create a LWC component. If any component was there earlier, you killed everything. There is no instance of the component in the memory now. Now you'll create a fresh one. So here it is, create element. Constant element, create element. Which element? I'm calling this create element function, which I imported at line number 1, and I'm using it here. Right, see hello. Right, why this is not taking it? Could not be found. Oh, HELO. See, let us check whether my programs are all wrong. C, hello, right? C, spelling is wrong. I'm correcting those spelling. HELO. There it's something. Here I'm creating something, right? So now constant create element. Immediately system will create element. It'll create element. From where? From this hello is hello. That is what I have imported. Create this element. Once the element is created, now it has to be loaded. That is the reason document.body.append child. Earlier we used remove child. Now all the childs were removed. To the HTML document, append the child. That means update with a new child. Which child? Element. What is that element? That's a variable that I created. Line number 15, element equals to create element. Create element. Create element is a function which I imported at line number 1. The work of create element is to create element. Which element? See hello, right? Which I'm referring as hello in line number 2. Once an element is created, you need to insert that element into the memory, in the web memory. So that is the reason document.body. System will create a document.body, and inside that it will inside that element. This is a variable. You can give any name. Once the element creation is done, step 1, that means virtually a design is loaded now. You will not be able to see those. Don't think that one like a Selenium, one browser will open, right? System will go ahead and system will display, right? The component. No, you will see nothing in the screen, blank. This all will be done in the memory. This all will be done in the memory. Now it is a time to test. Display, verify displayed message. I want to verify the displayed message. For that, you have to find the div, because I told you can test only generic element. Constant div, because my message is inside what? Inside this div. Inside this div, I cannot locate lightning card, because I told you just doesn't recognize lightning card, because this is a custom element. It's a custom component from the vendor, and the vendor is Salesforce. It doesn't recognize. It will take only the general HTML div. Where is the div? Inside div, this message is there. So now that is exactly what I'm trying to find. Here it is. Constant div element dot shadow root dot query locator. Why shadow root? Because this page is not visible in front of you. It is background page in the memory. That is the reason element dot shadow root dot query locator div. Identify div. Where is the div? Div. It will identify the div. Inside the div, I'm using expect. The equal command in Apex was system assert equal. Expected versus original. What I'm expecting? Div dot text content. Whatever the div is containing, this div is containing hello name. Should be hello world. No, wrong. Hello Rupam. This is what I'm expecting. Is there any comma? Even a space will fail the result. Remember this. Even a space, if you have even a blank space you give, it will fail. So finally, what you are expecting, let us go ahead and see, right? Let me click on preview. Finally, this is what you're expecting. Exactly the same thing will copy. Hello Rupam, Control C. This is what I'm expecting to be. Hello Rupam. Find the div.content should be to be expected to be hello Rupam. If it yes, test, this will give you pass and fail. This will give you pass and fail. Why just is not used? Because if you use a lightning component like lightning input, lightning button, you can't test it, because they are not recognized. Well, that is the reason nobody's using just. But even in interview also nobody will ask you. But as it's there, right? Maybe in the future it might come. That's the reason I'm teaching. Otherwise, I'd have left this topic. right? Over. Now that's done. You can click on run test, or you can open a command prompt. I'll copy and paste this command on the chat window. Somebody please, if you have installed jest and everything, follow the same procedure, same name, make sure that the names are same. Control C. I'm copying and pasting here. Anybody can want to work it parallelly. This is .js command. Okay, that is right. Now I'm creating, this is the lightning component which you're testing. First one that I pinged was a test. Now this is the temp, this is the hello.html as well as JS, both I'm giving. This is the lightning web component you want to test. Where is the test script? Here is the .js, test.js is the script. You can click on run test, or you can click on command prompt, and type npm run test test unit. Run. Anything inside this folder will run. Press enter. Right? Bad command. npm. What I did? npm run test unit. It's a unit testing. Press enter. System will run the test and it will display. Oh, see, I told you. Some npm missing file, missing script, test unit, log complete, right? This is what is happening in my system. I click on run test, right? LWC jest is not installed. See, SFDX LWC jest is not installed. Even though I'm installing it, I'm getting error. That is the reason it's not running. If it runs, then how will it look? It will look like this. It'll look run. See, it'll keep on running like this. Here I'm typing the command npm run test unit. Immediately system will show like this and it will say pass. One pass. It'll show like this. I ran last in the 96th batch, LT96. You can see that. You can see the batch also, CWLC96. Right? Make sure that first, right, whenever you're running, you move to this folder. Wherever your project is, move to this folder. We didn't do that. That could be one of the reasons. Right? Anyhow, in my system, it will not run. Where is your project? My project is in a folder. What is that? LT120, 123. LT123. Inside that, this is my project, LWC project. Right? This is where my project is lying. Copy this and say cd dot cd. Then go ahead and type. Oh, here it is. npm. Right, here we go. Press enter. Right? See, anyhow, my system will give error. I know that. Just is not recognized command because it's not available. See, now it's giving failed. Right, unit test script. This probably not a problem with npm. There is likely to be additional logging out for, right, local JSON exists. Right. So here we go. If my npm is properly installed and everything, this is how I will get the screen. It will show run. That means it's running. And immediately after run, you'll get pass. Right? It took 34 seconds. 34. It will happen in a very short period. Don't worry. This is how it runs. Very frankly, completely useless. You don't need to break your head on this. No company is using it. But in case in the future, if some company uses it, that is the reason I am taking an extra precautionary measure to show you that how it works. The file is here, complete steps and code. In the PPT also, the file will be there. Here it is. If you double click, it will open. It is attached, right? Understood, guys? Yes or no? What is happening here? How to write it? Understanding is enough. You don't need to go ahead and by heart this. Everybody clear? Yes, sir. Just yes. Now, right? Understand the steps. I mean the procedure. Nobody is going to ask in the interview. Just remember that this is the way we have to perform, right? As of now, no company is using it, so you don't need to worry about it. That in an interview they will ask you about just. Even if they ask you, you should be able to answer it, right? Just contains, right? It can be tested only for HTML and JavaScript. We cannot use it for a custom component, right? Or a vendor-defined component, right? It has two functions, describe and it. Describe work is to clear the memory, flush the memory, and it function is to create and then test, right? That's the it does. That's it. Whenever you use it keyword, you will get automatically run test button will come. A link will come called run test. This one. In case if they ask, nobody will ask in the interview, so don't worry about it. Now, let me go and show you the documentation. LWC component reference library or LWC, right? DOCUME documentation. Just click on this one, first one. This is your complete LWC documentation guide, which is coming up. More than, I can say 80%, 85% we have covered, right? How to create a Lightning Web component. What is an HTML template? What is CSS? What is this? What are the fields? How to write a JavaScript? Component accessibility. You can click on each one of them. You can see that we have covered. Anyone you can click. After this class, do this. Communication with event. Did you cover Rupam? Yes. Custom event. How to create a dispatch event, handle events, how to configure the event propagation, right? We did this. Each topic you can click. Create and dispatch event. How to use it. What is a custom event function? No uppercase, no these things, right? One sample example is given, right? Right. Handle event. How to handle those events, right? Handle notifications, everything, right? Your handle notifications. How to add a event listener. In simple word, how to configure the propagation, event.bubble, event.compost, right? What is this? We have used whatever is used, even the current target, we are not using it. That's not required. So whatever is done, right? How to communicate across DOM, how to use a lightning message service, how to use PubSub module. We have seen how to use PubSub module. Definition is not there. See? So there are certain things, no definition is there on PubSub. That's the reason I showed you how to do a PubSub. Communication events, right? Next, create mobile ready. What is mobile ready? What is mobile development, right? SLDS. These are all create theory. Most you'll see. Building a lightning web component, same thing. It will take you again to the same story, right? It's taking you to this trailhead where you will create a quick lightning web component, how to set up the environment, how to create a hello message, which I've just shown you just now. Create hello world lightning component, simple, which we already know how to create a lightning web component. So you need not to, it's same thing. There is nothing called separate mobile development. Whatever you develop, they are all mobile enabled. Minimize bandwidth, some best practices they will give. All see theory, mostly theory. Create a responsive layout, all theory. Nothing. This is the way it will look in the mobile. You're not doing any separate development. You can see that. lightning layout item, lightning layout, see, lightning card. So don't think that this piece I have not covered. There's nothing to cover there. It's the same thing. Lightning card, lightning layout item. This is the way it'll mobile compatible. Remember that. Mobile compatible. These are all follow some axes, and again theoretical. Some size, see, provide alternative gestures, make control accessible, all theory, blah 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 theories. Mostly these are all theories. Work with Salesforce data. There we go. Lightning data services I've gone through. How to go ahead and imperation, how to use a get method, how to call an apex with an wire. Everything we have done. Import. It has to be Aura enabled, right? You have to use @wire, right? How to write apex call imperatively. Everything. How to import and go ahead and read. You'll be able to see the same thing. Import the class name. That's what we did. Dot method name on the top. Same thing. Wire. Again the wire. Wire a property. Wire a method. Your complete documentation I've covered, guys, to be open and frank. Right? We have read this. How to call a method imperatively. Just going through and showing you that these all we have did it. How to call a apex method with a parameter. How to pass. Right? Right? So go ahead, see client-side caching, how to refresh, how to do this, right? Right. Next, right? All these, right? You can go ahead and you can read one by one, right? Develop a secure code, right? All theory. There is nothing more. Third-party components, lightning security overview, complete theory. Go ahead and read this, right? There is nothing, no extra thing. CSS, how to go ahead and apply CSS from W3 schools and everything. You can learn the standards. What is a JavaScript? How to be uploaded? Must be in the org static resource. Somebody asked me, can we include it? Yes. Static resources. We can say Apex include resource. So there are some secure. These are all theoretical, which you can read later, right? So, right. Next, Aura component, targets, attribute, Lightning app builder, right? Visit Lightning component in your org. How to see, what are the different org you have. All these are theory. View Lightning component as an Aura component in your org, right? Click on component, click on this, click on a, which we have been doing to the developer console. We used to go, but LWC cannot be seen. Only Lightning org can be seen, right? In a developer console, you cannot see Lightning web component. Remember that you can only see Lightning component. So that means when I come here, file, I say open Lightning resources, right? You will see all LA. You will not see LWC. LWC dummy is an app which we created. There is no LWC anywhere. See, you cannot. It doesn't support. Remember that. Then where can I see? You can see it only here under custom code. Under Lightning components, you'll be able to see everything. LWC will be visible. All Aura, and finally you'll see LWC. When you open an LWC, you cannot edit from here. See, there is no edit button, there is no view button. You cannot. You click on type is LWC. You click on it. Don't think that will show you the code. Click. It will not show you nothing. It will give you nothing. Even if you click, it will give you nothing. Say I'm clicking. Tuck. So LWC cannot be seen. See, Lightning Web Component bundle details. You cannot see it from developer console. All these theoretically now been given to you here, right? What is a Lightning app builder? We have seen, we have gone ahead. We created some flexi pages. For LMS also, for LMS I created 2 flexi page, if you remember. One side Visualforce, one for this, right? How to export an LWC to a, right, Visualforce page. Same as your lightning out feature where in your Aura. Same way we will export a lightning web component to a Visualforce page, right? See, create a reference to a standalone. Does anybody remember how to export a lightning, how to export a, what do you call, Aura component to a Visualforce page? Do you remember those class? Yes, no.
Like,
Lightning out, right? Where you're using lightning out, if you remember. Yes or no? You have to say lightning out, right? And after the lightning out, what do you have to say? You have to also use Aura dependency. You want to show? Perfect. Let me show you one of the component. Even though this is already done in the lightning class, but most of you are from Mars and Pluto, no? You guys want more, but you don't want to remember past. Anni kavale. While you want everything, but you don't remember anything in the past. Okay. Let's take what? Any component, right? Here it is. Get record impression. I don't know how we did this. Let us see. Right. XML.meta. Okay. Get record impression. Right. Just let me see opportunity name. It's displaying. Okay. I'll take. Let us take create record. Do you see anywhere create record? We'll export that. Create. Update. Wire a property or a function. Where is the create? Where is create? Here it is. Create account impression. Perfect. Create account impression. Right. Create account impression. Let me check. Right. Perfect. You can create an account with this. Rename. Control C. First, let me check it out, whether it's working fine or not. Control S. Right. Click preview. Right. Account name AAA. Submit. Submit. Let me go ahead and see whether an account got created with AA or not. Right. So sales. And then I will put it in the Visualforce page. Right. So account. AA got created. Perfect. Now let's take this component and export. This is an LWC. I want to export it out to where? To an Visualforce. What is the answer? Go ahead. Extends equals to. What is that? Come on, remember that. LTNG underscore OUTAPP. Then inside this, what do you write? Aura dependency. Aura DEPENDENCY. If my spelling is correct. Aura dependency. Next, RESOURC, resource, is equals to the name of the component that you want to export. Control X, give it here, close it, over. There we go, done. Now you create a Visualforce page. File, new Visualforce page. VF underscore LWC. I'm creating a Visualforce page. First thing in the Visualforce page you are going to use is what? Apex. Apex. INCLUD include lightning. It has to be there. First command. Where do you want to display? I can have Apex form. Apex form command. Mute please. Inside that, Apex page block. Inside the page block, Apex. Is it compulsory that I have to put inside the page block? No. This is just to show you. That's a page block section. I want to put it inside the section. Wherever you want to put, use div. Div, because I told you it's a neutral element. LWC is a neutral element. It's a right ECMS7 neutral element. Div, give an ID. ID equals to what? Anything. LWCCC. This is the ID. I can paste it without all these Apex form also. Directly I can paste it. Now write a script. 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 Here we'll say dollar lightning use. Lightning.use. This is the command. It has two parameters. Lightning.use. It has two parameters. One, C colon the application name. What is the application name? It has two parameters. First parameter, C colon. What is the application name? LWC underscore dummy. DUMMY. Second, it has a function, comma, function. FUNCTION function. It has a function. This is how you write a function. Your function is now I'm writing here. Parameter 2, function. Inside the function, you will say lightning dot create component. Usually create component has 3 elements, but here 4 elements. Lightning dot create element. You have 4 parameters. First one, what is the first parameter in create component? The first parameter is that in create component, if you remember dynamic component concept that I was teaching, right? What is the component name? Here we go. I want the LWC, right? By the way, it's C colon. So here also C colon. That's the component, right? Next, comma. You have the attribute. Here, I don't have any attribute. So blank, comma. Next, where is the location? Where do you want to place it? I want to place it in LWCC. This is the location. Fourth, after the component is placed, you can call a function. Function. Right? That's it. Control S. If I did everything correct, I should be able to get it in a Visualforce page. Click preview. Let's hope that the LWC component comes. Right? There we go. See, the LWC component came in the Visualforce page. This is the VF page, by the way. It is no more, but inside the VF page, I called an LWC component. Inside the VF page, you can give a page block section title. Title equals to LWC components. Right? Section title. Title equals to title equals to LWC create ACCOUNT account. Right? I will say section column equals to 1, because by default 2 column is there. Whenever there's a 2 column, that's the reason it's coming half. Now I create column equals to 1. My component will come full layout component came. Now see, it will work. I will say VFTTTTT, phone number 111111, fax number 1111, industry banking. Submit. I click submit. Let's see. Account VFTTT111. See, it's working. This is how you import a LWC component in a Visualforce environment. LWC component in a Visualforce environment. We did this. I did it so fast because we did this in Aura classes. How to import an lightning component, same thing. There is no difference between importing a lightning or LWC component in a Visualforce page. That is the reason I was quite fast. right?
So Rupam, if I have one doubt,
Mhm.
somebody is supposed, so many projects are there, right? Old projects are using Visual Force.
Mhm.
Then can I use this functionality like
Correct.
we can
That is the
develop?
purpose.
Yeah, okay.
In migration project, this is the must, because in migration project, client is already using Visual Force. In a one day, in a 6 months, you cannot convert the whole thing to Lightning or LWC. Next topic is when to choose Lightning, when to choose LWC. That's next topic, by the way. So you created an Lightning or an LWC. You want to deploy in a stages. So you want to keep the current form as it is. In the current form, certain sections you want to overwrite with Lightning, and this is the way we do it. That is the use of this. This is the way we do it. Getting it? This is the way we do it. One, right? You cannot change everything in a single stretch. You cannot change everything in a single stretch. That means if you do that, right, there will be some resistance from the employee, because employees were habitual of using classic environment for last 10 years. Suddenly one night you say that, hey, tomorrow onwards Lightning. So what we do in real time, we don't change the world in a single day. We keep the Visual Force page like this. Let's say that Visual Force page has 10 sections. We will change one section to Lightning, 9 section to VF. It will remain as it is. In after next release, 3 sections will be converted to LWC or Lightning, and remaining 7 will remain in, so that the user gets slowly adjusted between a classic to a Lightning migration. This is a strategy, so that they don't suddenly one morning come say Lightning or Lightning. Are screen change? No, they shouldn't be able to feel the transition. So this is the way slowly you will start importing one component into the page. And finally, maybe after 3-4 releases, the complete page will now be right with Lightning, still in Classic. And one fine morning, you will disable the Classic and you will roll out a Lightning application. This is how it works. And for that, we need this. Whether it's a Lightning or an LWC, they can coexist in an environment. All the 3 technologies can coexist in an environment. Clear, everyone? Yes, sir. I'm going to the documentation here again. Okay, that's okay, fine. I'm going to the documentation. I'm going to the documentation. Where is the documentation? It overwritten? Oh, so sad. Oh, here it is. Documentation was overwritten. Right? Documentation. Right? All these, right, you'll be able to see in this Aura coexistence. It clearly says an interportability layer enables Lightning Web Component and Aura to work together. See? You can now write new Lightning Web Component, add them to an app containing Aura. But however, vice versa is not possible. Lightning Web Component and Aura can work together, but there is a limitation you must understand. Aura component can contain Lightning Web Component. However, Lightning Web Component cannot contain Aura. Remember that. So you can call an LWC inside an Aura, but you cannot call an Aura inside an LWC. Remember this very well. Next, what is the component structure difference? Right? Okay. We have did this. Here we say Lightning card. There we say Lightning dash card. Here you say Lightning component. Here you say template. We all know composition. There it's controller. Here it's JavaScript. They have given some example to understand, so you need not to worry about it. Right? Same way events. We have did that. Same thing again. There it's you create a Lightning event. Here we go ahead with the on keyword. See, on change, on keyword. With an on keyword you go. With an on. or you can go with the event, right? All the events we have covered, JavaScript code and everything. So these are all created service components, import, reference, lightning. These are, just theoretical part. You can ignore it. How to choose between this, right? Migration strategy. That same thing I told you. How can you migrate from LWC to Aura? So this is a strategy. Easiest component to migrate, right? Remember that there is no migration tool available. It is a large effort because you have to recreate everything. There is no conversion tool. That can I convert a Lightning Aura to a Lightning Web Component with a tool? No. Use Lightning Web Component for new components only. Whenever you're creating a new component, first create LWC. Don't create Aura. Stick with Aura component for now because LWC is not fully developed. Wherever LWC is not possible, stick to Aura. Documentation clearly says that is the reason I'm coming to the documentation I'm showing you. Next, which component you can pick up to migrate? Rupam, when should I create LWC and when should I create Aura? You are saying that, right? All for the new component, use Lightning Web Component for new components only. And then you're saying that stick to Aura. What is this? Yes. First, check which are the components you can create. So here it is. Pick up component to migrate. Right? These are all, step by step. Lightning Web Component Aura can coexist. An Aura component can contain inside Lightning. A Lightning Web Component cannot be there inside Aura. If an Aura component has facet that contains Aura component, you must migrate those to Aura must migrate those and others to Aura component too. So migrate. Let's see one by one. This is the difference. CMP, there is .html. Here is controller, there is JS. Here is helper, there is no helper, JS. In Lightning, you have a re-render. In LWC, you have JS. In Lightning, you have a CS. There also you have a CS. Documentation in Lightning you have. In Aura you have, but LWC you don't have. Design, you have XML meta.xml. SVG not supported. That's the reason in Aura also I was not teaching you all this. I was not teaching you. I didn't touch documentation. I didn't touch SVG because these are waste. It's there because when 2015 I told you Aura came, that time the SLDS was not there, designing system was not there. There we used to design, we used to create design in the component itself. Now we have SLDS available, so we are not using it. From 2018 onwards, no new Lightning component is using design and SVG or re-render. Re-render is nothing but same as your INIT, initialize function. These earlier INIT was not there. That is the reason we used to write re-render. Currently in Lightning component, we write controller, helper, CSS, only 3 things. That's it. And your interview question will be mostly on these only. Some people who are old generation, they might ask you, what is a re-renderer? But other than this, no. This is the difference between the component. Next, markups. These are the changes. We have done all. Attribute. There you say Aura attribute. Here you say directly @API public @API name equals to Rupam. There is no attribute function. And this is the way you display attribute. My attribute. We did this. We have been doing from the day one like this. We have been doing this from the day one itself, the way these attributes are being taken, right? So template attributes, right? Attributes. All these are we have done in the class. How to write iteration. There it's Aura iteration. Here template for each. We have did this. In fact, I'm telling you 85 to 90% of your document is well covered. Conditional Aura if. There it's called Aura if. Aura if. Here we say template if true. If true, Rupam.data, if you remember. Template if true, Rupam.data. Same thing. All these expressions, if true, right? Everything we have covered, right? Initializers, right? Documentation is There is no initializer document. Initialization document is not there. See, there's error. We'll investigate. There is no document. So same thing. How to use there versus here. Base components. Here you say Aura component. Now you have to say template. Right? Base component. There you say handle click. Now you have to write a JavaScript import, which you have done that. Events. I'm going one by one, guys. Migrate events. How to events? There is no equivalent lightning component event. Event is not there. Here, right? Event handlers. There is no equivalent event handler. But I've shown you how to use. Aura handler is not there. We don't use, I told you, we don't have any component event or application event. See, documentation is saying nothing. All these one by one, mostly we have covered. Aura component access global. Yes. In Lightning, we use @API. See, for a global, we use @API decorator. For public, we use @API. Both for public and global, @API. When you don't use anything, then it became a private. I told you. Name equals Rupam, it's a private. @API name, then it's a global. It's a public. All these things we have done, guys. Migrating event, migrating interfaces. Certain documents are not there. Migrate interface. Here, targets. We use targets. Target, Lightning inbox, Lightning web page, Lightning this, Lightning app page. See, interfaces, targets. CSS, you know that. There we say this dot, here we say dot. Know this. We have did this. Migrate JavaScript. Right? You have to rewrite. There is no other way. There is no tool available. Migrate Apex. Nothing. But you have to say Aura enabled. Cacheable true. It has to be static. Right? I'm just going to the documentation one by one, right? Base component versus. Now here, what are the things which are supported? This is the best. This is the only place where you have to see. Right? Suppose you are using button. Is button supported? Yes. Are you using icon? See, button icon does not support. Lightning button icon is not there. Lightning button icon does not support icon class. Sometime it will say, right? It doesn't support this. Lightning button menu doesn't support on click. So you have to stick to Aura. In LWC, these are not there. System is giving you clear information. Lightning web component, not yet available. So if you want to use a container, right, Lightning container, don't use. Data table, there are some limitations. See, file card, in LWC, it's not there. There are certain things which are not there in LWC. And it will tell clearly that this is not there, this is not there. Wherever you see it's not there, list view. If you're using Lightning list view, see, Lightning web component not yet available. There is no such component available, blank. By looking at this, you'll decide whether I should use a Lightning web component or I should use an Aura component. All the component full list is here. Full list. Aura if, Aura iteration, template, text, token. Token is not available here. Token is available in Lightning. So see, canvas not available. System is taking everything. Record data. Here it's wire. There is no record data available. Record edit form, record view form we have seen. Check this. Whichever component you are using in your development, first cross check from here. Is it supported in LWC? If yes, create LWC. If no, create Aura. If no, create Aura. This is how you'll decide. Tomorrow they will ask you, how will you decide between an Aura and a Lightning? You can say that we will go to the dictionary. We'll go to the component LWC component reference library. There is a base component versus Lightning component. Aura component versus Lightning component. Compatibility and editability and availability is available. We will check from that list whether those components are available in LWC. If yes, we will create LWC. If no, we will stick to Aura. That is what the Salesforce says, and that is what I'm showing you. And that should be your answer. When should you choose Lightning Web Component, and when should you choose Lightning Component, Aura? Your answer is based on the reference library. In my development, whatever Lightning component I'm using it, if they are supported in LWC, we will go by LWC. If not, then we will go and stick to Aura. This is how you choose between LWC and Aura. This is the standard procedure. First, verify the availability of that technology in LWC. If yes, choose LWC. Preference goes to LWC first, and then it goes to Aura. Based on this base component, Aura versus Lightning Web Component, from this documentation we check. Certain components are not yet available. Certain components are not supported. Certain components are available, but features are not supported. Menu is there, but when you click you write, it will not work. Then there is no meaning writing. So if your project has a menu, then use Lightning. Don't use LWC. Because in LWC, if you use menu will come, but when you click, that menu will not show drop down, because click doesn't work for that. Why? Don't ask this. Because that base feature or that function is not yet developed by Salesforce yet. Right? Next, right? Debugging Lightning Web Component. There is nothing. There is no way to debug. There is no debug tool available. First one, enable debug. What is that enable debug? Nothing. It's all theory. You read it. It's all waste. Chrome debug tool. Chrome debug tool is nothing but what it's talking about. It is talking about the inspect. Open the dev tool in Windows. Control Shift I. Go and press Control Shift I in your Control Shift I. It will open the inspect. See, it is equal to right click and click on inspect. There is no separate tool available for debug. That line by line you will debug. No, there is no tool available. Mobile debug. You can read the document is in front of you. There is no reference of any tool, any procedure to debug. Just enable it. It will not work. There is nothing. Use Chrome tools. Nothing but inspect.
Rupam,
As of yes.
this question is like commonly asked question in the interviews, like how do you debug in LWC? And they were like expecting like from inspect, and we do have a Java code and all, and we do
Correct.
need to do some edits in that. So
Correct.
they are focusing more on this debug.
See, actually, ideally, there is no debug tool available. When you say debug, right? So what is a debug? Where the program has encountered an error. You can write a program and you can say console.log, and you can go ahead and start inspecting in the console.log. How will you inspect here in this tool? Console. That's the only way. Elements will show you the div, this box. For example, I click on this one, I click on this box, I will select one section, and it will show div. These elements has nothing. It will show the page elements, which elements are there. Finally, you'll come to the console. In the console, the only way to debug is that you have to use console.log in every line of your program. That's it. Right? And here it will say issues. Where is the problem? What is the value you're entering? What is the error you're able to see? That's it. There is no other thing here. You cannot click on this and you cannot go ahead and say execute like we do in Visual Studio, Visual what do you call it? C++ or something like that. You don't have. These are web-based technology, and web-based technology, Java doesn't have a debugger. It has only interpreter. It doesn't have a compiler. So hence, there is no definition available. Go and check it out. Even they are expecting, tell them that with a console, in the console.log, in the console, we need to, the only way is that at console.log, right? See whether the program has reached there or not. See what the program is showing the data. Based on that only you can debug. What else you can do? You tell me. If you have anything, tell me then. We will also implement in our office then if you find something new rocket. Elements, these are all the web elements that you're using, and it will give you the SLDS, it will give you the size, it will give you the font, right? Here you can't, even if you change it, you can go ahead and you can start changing, right? And the system will start showing that one variant. See, I'm changing the font variant and something. So mostly we use console.log. In the consoles only we check it out, right? Here. For that, this is for normal web applications. Any web application can only be debugged. Any web technology can be only debugged through this. And that's, if you want to have a class for this, again, that will be another 1 month class. How to use, what are these functions available? See, range, I have to go through each one of them. R, A, if I type A, what is this array will do? What this atomics will do? What this attribute will do? What is, see, B, right? Blob event is equals to, like this, I'll keep on writing. It's a separate programming again. So as of now, you can inspect only with it'll open. What happened? Lightning Web Component Inspector. Open the developer console tab. You have one more coming up like this, Lightning Inspect. Again, it'll open the same thing. It'll open this inspect only. Like this only it'll open. These are the only tools available. You don't have any additional tools. It's a Chrome development tool. That's it. There is no separate tools available anywhere. Right? Lightning test. I was showing you this. Install Jest today. Go to the install, go to this, run Jest, same program that is there. But if you follow this step, it will not work. So remember this. That's the reason. Follow my PPT. It should be able to work. See, you have to enter this, right? You have to go ahead and make an entry of this, and then you have to write the Jest program, right? And then end-to-end Jest, how to go ahead and test, right? You can use a Selenium driver, third-party Selenium tool, right? So testing web component, which are not that great. These are all in beta. What does the shadow root does, right? Which I was explaining during the testing class. So references, right? What is Lightning UI wire adapters? What is the wire adapter structure? See, all beta, depreciated, beta. This is all in development now. See, beta. Beta means development. They are not yet there. You want a barcode scanner. These all have not come yet. These are additional feature. Location services. If you want to scan your products like in a shopping mall with a barcode, LWC is giving a barcode scanner, right? Location scanner. Location services. You want to capture your geolocations from a device, factory function to get instance location, right? These are the function. Current location, start watching position, stop watching position. If you use, just go to this documentation. Mostly these are not used, but in case if a project has a POS, point of sales, and you want to use a bar scanner, remember that LWC do have a bar scanner. It's a generic one. Lifecycle hooks, I was discussing, right? Decorators, we were looking on it. 3 decorators are there. We didn't use @track, right? Because very frankly, @track is completely waste. That doesn't work. If a field value changes, @track will keep changing. If you don't put @track, then also the field values are tracked. In front of a variable, you can put @track, right? No use at all. Even if you don't put @track, if the field value changes, it will be tracked. Most use are API and wire. API declares a variable public, right? Wire is nothing but it's a reactive service to retrieve the data. Track is to check the data change in a field. In a field, if the data has changed or not, we use track. Without using track also, the data is checked. Hence, track has no vital importance. In case if they ask you what is a track. That's it, guys. Your whole Salesforce LWC documentation is here now. Go ahead, right? Review this. You'll be able to see that 85% we have covered. I'm not saying I'm covering 100%. There could be some here and there. For example, somebody asked me yesterday, right? Somebody asked me yesterday, what is that? Right? The remaining hooks we didn't cover. Go ahead, refer, because they are not that important. Refreshing a document that happens as the document, you can use INIT function, initialization. In fact, constructor itself, you can load it, which are not commonly used. I'm not going there. That is the reason I'm saying 85% I've covered. Remaining all, you can check with this. Whatever I have covered, that is far enough for your real-time working as well as interview. In fact, in real time, whatever you have learned, these are not even used. LMS is not used. PubShop events are used, right? Components events are used, but right, wire is used, decorators are used, but you'll not see LMS using, you will not see that PubShop using the way I was showing you, right? Create a PubShop file, create a XML file. Events are used. So look, right? Can you show how to retrieve a package.xml? This is a part of the deployment class. Didn't I show you, Sangeeta? Using a Visual Studio Code, didn't we?
No, Rupam.
Okay, why this every time comes in question? Okay, fine then. That's okay. Thank you. Now, let's see how to retrieve. It's a very simple one. What? I want to retrieve some information from Salesforce. Click on this. Org Retriever. What do you want to retrieve? You want to retrieve classes? Which classes? These are the classes. Whatever you have created, you can retrieve everything. You can retrieve anything and everything to this project. Control Shift P, right? I will say authorize an org. Which org? By the way, somebody can ping your, Sangeeta, if you ping your org username and password and the security token, we will retrieve from your org, or I will take it from my org and transfer to your org. Tell me, you want to retrieve from your org?
Rupam, I have a link. I'll share you that link, the deployment link.
The chat window?
Yeah.
I didn't receive it anything.
No, I'll
Rupam,
share you now.
Rupam, we can use Workbench also, right, to retrieve.
You can use anything. You can use Workbench. You can use Visual Studio Code, right? You can use AND to retrieve. Didn't I show you the AND to retrieve? With AND command, you can retrieve. Multiple retrieval tools are there. Why this? Why Visual Studio Code? When somebody is asking, insisting, so let me show you. Otherwise, you will say Rupam didn't show. Rupam @lt121.com. I'm going to some organization, not LT. OF121.com. Password CRM12345#. First, log into the org from where you want to retrieve. Verification email has been sent. gmail.com. Right? I copy it. I want to retrieve from this org, and if Sangeeta gives her org details, then I'll push it to her org. As simple as that. Now I'm connecting to OF121. My Visual Studio Code did the authorization. Let's wait for the authorization to come in. There we go. My authorization is successful. Now click on this icon called Org Browser. It will refresh all the things, templates, classes, triggers, everything from that org. Refresh the org browser. The org has changed. System is retrieving. This is how you retrieve. You want to download pages, whatever you want to download objects, you can download anything, everything. See, all these are CLTR classes, triggers that we created. You want to download, 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 download. See, you want to download everything, then download the folder itself. Here is Apex class. Click on this. Retrieve from the source. Whole folder is downloaded. Overwrite. Overwrite. Okay, overwrite all the 4 because we already downloaded individually. Now it's downloading again. See, complete folder got downloaded. Apex class. What do you want? Apex triggers. Complete folder we can download. Download. See, and I can upload custom label, custom metadata, everything you have. Duplicate rules you created. You remember in the admin we created account duplicate rule, con duplicate rule. Download. Right? See. Once you download, now you want to upload it to whom org? Which org? Whichever org you want to download. Now you come to your browser, org, your on the top. You'll be able to see bar booking and everything. Classes came in. See, in my project, complete class, including my other classes, my lightning component, everything you can download it. It got downloaded. Where it got saved, Rupam? It got saved here. LT123, right? Force app, main, default. Here we go, classes. See, you downloaded all the classes. Take a backup. Complete OF121 classes I downloaded. You can do this with Ant also. Same thing. If you remember, deployment class Ant. Now I want to upload it to Sangeeta's org. Link will not work. You have to give me the username and password. Now let's go ahead. Control Shift P, authorize an org, default org. Right now we'll give Sangeeta's. Get ready for the verification code, Sangeeta. Open your Gmail. Simple, over. I downloaded it. Now I will say deploy. There we go. It's asking for login. I says, right, I go ahead and paste Sangeeta, right, her email, and then I paste her password that she gave me. And I say login. It'll ask me for a verification code, which Sangeeta is getting ready to give me. There we go. It has been sent to the mobile. There we go. Copy, paste, verify. Now my VS Studio Code is connected to Sangeeta's org. All these classes that I download, I can push it to her org now. From OF121, I'm pushing this org. Let's verify it. Right? Which org? What I did now? Sangeeta's org got loaded. Verification done. Now I want to push what? Push all these where? My classes. Let's push this bar. Open the bar. Control Shift P, deploy to the source org. Done. It's gone to the Sangeeta's org. As soon as I get success. See, now open Sangeeta open classes, there will be bar booking. You want to send everything, right click on it. I want to upload everything, deploy the whole folder. Folder will be deployed. If there is any conflict, then it will create. See, I'm deploying everything. All this, if she has created with the same name, then error will come, wait. Multiply this all classes from my system, deployed failed to run because there could be some duplicates. Retrieve source org, let us see, what is that error? See, some of them will be duplicates, will be there. Full name, couple of them will be duplicates. That, yeah, Sangeeta?
Yeah, I have created some like as per the recordings also.
Correct. As per the recording creators. That is the reason it's giving some duplicates. If I say individual, maybe right click, you can deploy whole folder if there is no duplicate. Deploy to the source org. You can use that. See, batch Apex I'm deploying. If you have used the same name, then it will fail. See, it's got deployed. 0702 batch apex. Go ahead and see. Check now your login. Here is your login. Setup. This is how you retrieve and deploy. Clear now? Right? That's it. There is nothing rocket science here. Right? Let's say that custom code, develop apex classes. You should be able to see 0702 batch apex. 0702 batch apex. Where is that? We are in your org only, no? 0702 batch apex. There's a bar booking. Was created today. You can see the date also. 6/26 US time. Right? 26. These were created today. So you can retrieve using Visual Studio Code and you can push it to any org. Same thing you can do with Workbench. Same thing you can do with Ant. Same thing you do with here. Visual Studio Code. Clear? Yes, sir? Perfect. Now, you will get a read-only code book. You cannot download that code book. Okay, just to keep you updated. You will get some lightning document, LWC documentation. For example, you will get interview questions as usual. Please read those interview questions and go. Please read those interview questions. Right? Interview questions, mostly all LWC interview questions are here. Please read this. This should be available to your documentation. Next, you will get a code book. Right? Let me open a code book. Here it is. Code book. In this code book, there are many examples which we have not did in the class, but it's solved there. This code book, you cannot download it. So don't go and call them that I cannot download this book. So no, it can be only accessible through web only. No download available. In this, all the programs with required outputs are been given from basic to high level. Right? Classroom works are also there in that. In simple word, this is the code book. If you practice, that should be enough. Complete event with a lot of different examples with the events and everything. A complete solved book is there. Right? With some explanation. Right? With some explanations and everything. So this code book will be shared with you. But you cannot download it. Somewhere I've given a steps like this. Right? How the execution is happening. Right? So all these are there. See, these things we didn't do. City name or something like that. So all these you will get it along with your course material. Please read the course material. I've tried to keep it very short and simple, right? With all the information. If you read this 56 page, that's enough, right? You don't need to go to the documentation also. Topic by topic, field by field, all these things we have discussed. Advantage of LWC, difference between interview based. What is LWC? What are the LWC bundle? What are the supported components? What are the components which are not supported? Right? All these will be there. What is LWC component and everything. Right? So please review this document. What is the LDS structure? How it works? Right? And everything. Some little bit of information based will be there. Right? All the Lightning UI wire adapters, what you have, what it will give. Right? And there will be some code examples also will be there. Couple of them we have done in the class, couple of them we have not done. So please review this. It will give you this type of flow to explain. Right? So review this documentation. Right? LWC lifecycle, how it works, what is the component is removed, what happens in the component removal. Right? Certain documents which are not there here and there, but we have seen those. right? Now, any new video comes or any new technology I teach, any new technology if I teach, any new technology I teach, right? For the next 1 year, you will get update in your videos. You might see some new videos coming up if something new comes up. Something like, mobile phone software update. You keep on getting updates no, in an Android. Here also you'll get a video updates. So because LWC is still developing in beta stage, there's a lot of changes happening. If anything new comes, then immediately it'll be appearing in your video. You might be seeing a new video coming up, not saying LT123. It might say LT120, 134. Suddenly you'll see in your folder 134 video has come in. So that means nothing but this is something new. You need to observe. For next 1 year, this support will be there so that you have the latest, right? By this, you got a basic idea of how LWC components are working, how they are created, how you can utilize them, what is template, right? What is JavaScripts, right? .js and everything. And you should be able to write basic or medium LWC component. The more you write, the more you practice, right? You will get hands-on on LWC. Everything requires practice. If you don't practice, nothing will come. So please practice and then proceed. You can definitely put in your interviews or in your resume saying that you have worked on LWC or you are practicing LWC. Currently, rarely companies are using LWC. They are all mostly on Aura, Lightning only. LWC is an added advantage. So you can say that you have an exposure on LWC, but your company has not implemented LWC. You are practicing. You are the person in the company who is building those LWC components and trying to build the LWC practice in your company. You can say like this and you can proceed. Yes, do you know LWC? Yes. How to create LWC component? You tell him. Most of them interview questions will be quite easier in LWC. Right? That's it for my end.
Sir.
Right? Yes.
Sir, what if the interviewer will ask us to code live? Where should we code? On which platform?
You have to open a Visual Studio Code. Yes. There's no other platform.
Then they will come to know that is an non-enterprise edition.
Obviously, how can you, for example, if I go for an interview and you are from HCL and I work for Dell, do you think that I will open my environment and I'll code?
Oh, no.
Actually, we have to do it in a notepad.
They will ask you to write the code in a notepad, or if you go to physical interview, they will give you to write in behind your resume.
Oh, okay.
Back of your resume. If they tell you to write live, then they have to give the environment, or you will take a dummy environment. See, I'm going for an HCL interview. Why should I use my Dell environment for their interview? Obviously, either they have to give their environment access to me. Give me. I'll write, or else I'll use. Why should I pay for a enterprise edition?
Yeah.
Right?
Use
As
the notepad.
Use 99% they'll give you a notepad or a resume to write the code. If it's a physical, then behind. If it's there, then so you have to in the notepad you have to say template start, template ends. Then you have to write a JavaScript with import with a dash 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 in the middle. This is the ES module. Right?
All
These will come, Sharat.
velocity course.
Yes. Sorry? I am planning, but the whole thing is that time is not there. I'm ready to teach velocity, right? And everything, right? But thing is that time is a constraint. Monday to Friday, I'm taking three batches from morning 7 to 11:30, 7 to 8:30, 8:30 to 10, 10 to 11:30. Saturday and Sunday, you see that I'm with you guys.
Will
One
we get
batch
any if velocity starts? Will we get any update?
You will be able to see it. Yes, I'm planning. Religiously, I'm planning to start LWC class. To be open and frank, next batch onwards, I'm thinking to reduce 30 minutes and create a time slot. The way you have 2 hours on Sunday, 1.5 hour on Saturday, I'm thinking to have 1.5 hour, 1.5 hour, 1.5 hour, Saturday, Sunday, 3 classes. One lightning, one LWC, one velocity. So 7 to 8:30 lightning or LWC, 8:30 to 10 lightning LWC, 10 to 11:30 velocity. But thing is that that's getting a lot of strain on me, right?
Sir,
That
is
is also one thing is that.
it
Let me
advisable to
see. Mhm.
sir, is it advisable to go with CAPM or PMP for further time?
I will, if you're looking for a project management role, if you want to be a lead, if you want to be a delivery managers, if you want to be a delivery consultant, right, then in that case, definitely your PMP or any type of agile certification or your Scrum certification or, ITIL V3 paper certification will be very much important. Definitely, yes. Right. Future, not how many years will you be coding, right? So
Yeah.
maybe 10 years after that, you have to come to a leadership. And that time you need this all. That time you need to show that, yes, you're a project management certified from PMP, right? You have to show that you're agile certified, you're a Scrum master, you're, waterfall certified, you are, ISO certified, you are ITIL V3, V4, V5 certified, right? So those certification will definitely help. But you know the cost. I don't recommend because, right, to do that, it's a $550. Right? Along with that, you need to have a 45 minimum 40 hours of PDU. That's to cost you another 20,000. So total cost will come 70, 80,000. Minimum 80,000 will come.
How can I generate a PDU, sir?
You have to go ahead and find, in Google, there are a lot of organizations who organize this PDU trainings. Just go ahead and type PMP PDU training, and it'll give you a list of laws. They will be organizing in a hotel, some 5-star hotel and everything for 2 weekends, Saturday, Sunday, 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours. 4 8s are 36, and they will give you 40 hours PDO. So 4 weekend will be a must you have to go from morning to evening. And they will charge 25,000, 30,000 for that for 2 weekends. 4 classes, 4 days, 2 weekends. 40,000. Wow. Very frankly, I should have started that. Money is more, time is less. But here you see, money is less and time is more. 3.5 months we have spent. So, right, I should have taken, PMP training rather than Salesforce training. There's a lot of profit there. मेहनत कम पैसे ज्यादा उसमें. And there people, because they are fixed, it'll be 30,000, right? 25 to 30,000 per candidates. Your wish. I don't recommend those all because first get a job in Salesforce. As you grow up in the career, automatically you come to know what to be done, what not to be done. All the folders, all the documents and everything would be available, right, in next 5 days. If you don't get in 5 days, please contact Capital Info or those who are from my side. They can contact me through the email, right? Especially the DevLabs guys. So you can contact me. All these videos, right, documents and everything will be available there, right? So that's it. That's the end of your LWC session. During the class, if you feel that my voice was not appropriate and I was a little arrogant, or I was quite unprofessional at some time, then my personal apologies to everyone, right? Remember that if I have pointed someone out due to some reason, it is just to improve, nothing personal, nothing that I want to take a personal grudge or something. No, it was just to improve you guys, that's it. So if somebody would have felt bad on me pointing you or with my words, then I'm sorry, right? Keep in touch with me through emails. If you get a job, please do let me know. I'll be the most happiest person. Remember that after your parents when you share this good news. So, right, I know that 99% of the student will forget this. That's okay, right? The way you didn't remember your school teachers, your college teachers, you forgot. The same way you'll forget this trainer also, which is common behavior of a human being. But in case if somebody remembers and write an email to me stating they got a job, I'll be more happy, right? So with that notion, best of luck for your career. You are free to join this course for the second time. I'll give you one more opportunity within 1 year. If you want to brush or you want to come back, for example, people who might be there who might not immediate focus on job at this moment, you would like to continue and maybe in the later in the future you want to. So within 1 year, if you want to rejoin this course, you don't need to pay anything, free. You can join because see, anyhow, whichever batch is there, I have to teach. So if you guys join, I don't have any problem. So you can join this batch once again, free of cost as a repetition. You have my word. But before you consult or contact the institute, please write a mail to me, giving some reason. Hey Rupam, it's almost 3 months that I'm left the subject. I want to revise. Would you mind me adding to the new batch or next batch when it's available? I will just put my approval and I'll forward to the institute and they will then follow up with the institute and get to the new batch, right? By the way, once again, I'm repeating, they will not charge you anything. If they ask you money, tell them that sir promised that it's for free. Use my name, right? This is the max I can do for you, giving you one more opportunity to attend any other classes going forward. So if you want, you can, please, you're mostly welcome back anytime within 1 year. Okay, you still have a 1 year time. Remember this. That's it from my side. Thank you guys. It was really nice being with you for the last 3.5 months, right?
So,
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Please update if you are starting any CPQ or velocity course.
No, CPQ, I'm not going to start. Velocity,
Well-
yes, there is a chances, but CPQ definitely not. CPQ will cost very much, which hardly student can bear. It will go to 40-50,000 course fee.
What about Tableau, sir?
Tableau and Giblues, right? You can learn. It's a separate course. I don't teach Tableau, to be open and frank. I am a certified Tableau professional, but I don't teach Tableau. You can find it some other institute for teaching Tableau, Power BI, right? Any type of BI tools if you want, please, right? Go to that institute. CPQ, I know, but I will not teach. I will be very open because it will be too costly and hardly student can have, in the class there'll be 10, 12 maximum. And for a 10, 12, I cannot spend time. Velocity, yes, there is a chances, right? I thought to start in January itself, but again, because of this all, batches, it's got moved. But very soon I'll start velocity batch. So that's for sure. Maybe in another 1 month. Every month I'm saying I'll start, but time is a constraint. That's the only thing. Velocity fees also will be high because it's a license version. You cannot use it in free version. You have to get a license, and the license cost itself will be 12,000 per month. If the course, my course will be 1.5 months in velocity. So that means the 2 months license itself will 20,000. And after that, if you want to practice, you have to continue the license. Otherwise, license will stop and you cannot log in. So velocity is a license. Once again, I'm repeating. So 20,000, almost 22,000 will go for license and then the fees. How many of you join? We don't know. That's the reason institute is also not taking that much interest in the velocity. With a 30,000 fee, 35,000 fee, hardly student will be able to afford. I'll be speaking very realistically. The institute should keep 10,000 right in between for 2 months. That means monthly 5,000 from one student. Come on, they have to. People will say, you're charging 30,000, right? But they don't know the reason behind it. Otherwise, I told the institute to offer you a 10,000 course fee, license is yours. Fine. Pay us only 10,000. I will show in the class. If you want to practice, buy your own license with your own credit card. Then you'll realize. Most of them will not be able to do. That's the reason we are not keeping the leg on the velocity so fast. These are the reasons why I'm not starting velocity and other courses. Otherwise, I don't have any problem teaching velocity. Right. But let me see, I will give a try. Let me see, one batch I will take. I will see how many student comes. If I see that the strength is good, then we might go with a volume license. That means bulk volume, 20 license at a time. But these are all risky, you know, taking this risk behalf of student. You want that everything we should provide you, but nobody is willing to take that risk. And these are all billing done annually. You know this? I cannot buy a monthly. If I buy a monthly license, the cost will be high. Go and check the license, $129 per month, billed annually. That means in a first time itself, I have to pay some 3-4 lakhs to the Salesforce. Tell me who will take the risk? Will the institute will take a risk behalf of you, or I will take? Neither will take. So there are a lot of constraints which you guys don't know, and you feel that, right? Right? So maybe I might take a risk to start velocity once. Let's see. And if we succeed, we'll proceed. If we fail, we'll stop the batch, because strength is required. If we see that hardly 10 students are coming, there is no meaning taking risks for 10 students or 15. There should be minimum 30 to 35 students should be there. Minimum 30. Right? Perfect. Anything else? Mhm.
Thank you so much for teaching us Salesforce.
I didn't got it, Sangeeta. Can you repeat that again?
Thank you so much for teaching us Salesforce program.
You're saying thank you?
Yeah.
Oh, welcome. Your voice suddenly became, you know, the mic issue or something like that. Thank you, Sangeeta. Thanks, everyone. Right. It was nice. I've been always try to be very frank and very open to you and all. And thanks for many times I'm cancel the class due to some personal reason, and you guys were there to help me out of that, because your trainer is doing multiple things. He's doing his PhD, doctorate, and everything. He's on multiple stand. He's trying to balance all the balls, all the, you know, no ball should get dropped right from the hand. How much I succeeded, I don't know, but I always give my 100% best effort in everything that I do. Let it be a class or something. Right, certain places I might have been, you know, miss the class because of my wife operation or something in the recent, right, and everything. So surgeries and everything, or my PhD exams. So thank you for all your support. Thanks, guys. Have a nice and wonderful day. That's the end of the session, right? Thank you, guys. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you
Best of
so
luck.
much.
Thank you, Rupon. Thank you for this golden day, sir.
Hey, welcome. Completely my pleasure. Bye bye, guys.